What's going on, guys? Weather's decent today, as you can see. Clear blue skies. It's like 50 degrees right now. So I'm out on the bike and it is filthy. God, this thing is dusted. But I could not miss this opportunity. I had to get out on it. Weather's too good. Weather's too good. It's December, so come on. You're not gonna get that many days like this. So we're out on the bike. Last vlog kind of sucked. The last video I made. Sorry about that. I was driving around the car. Oh my god, I knew that video was gonna suck. And it's funny because my worst videos get the most views. So hope you guys enjoyed that one. But I'm just on my way to the bank real quick. Wanted to talk a little bit today about the pros and cons of owning a motorcycle. You know, it is going to vary depending on where you're from and everything, some of the things I bring up, but in the state I'm in, it gets mighty cold. It gets mighty cold and it snows here sometimes. So some of the cons I bring up might not apply to you, depending on where you're from, whoever's watching this. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about them a little, you know, there's pros and cons. Should I get a motorcycle? You might be asking yourself. Oh, I got the whole running crew out, man. Here we are, like, what are some pros and cons, right? It's going to be different for some people and everything, you know. Obviously, I'm going to say this bike isn't the most comfortable thing ever, nor was the bike I had before that I used to film on this channel. It wasn't the most comfortable thing, so comfort's obviously going to be a thing for me. You know, well, cars are always going to be more comfortable, regardless of what bike you have. You might be on one of those super cruisers, you know, on one of those Harleys and shit, and you might say, no, my motorcycle's like a couch. It's the most comfortable thing ever. My dang old car doesn't even compete to my Harley. My Harley's the most comfortable thing I ever sat my ass on. So if you're one of those guys, then I guess it doesn't apply to you. But coming from a bobber Shadow, not very comfortable, onto a sport bike, not very comfortable, you know. But to each their own. So it's a comfort thing, you know. That's one of the cons, I think, of having a bike. It's not as comfortable, but it is a lot more fun. I feel like you're getting a motorcycle. It's the fun factor, you know. For you, it's obviously not comfort or nothing. It's adventure. That's why you get a bike. It's adventure, you know. It's not something you're gonna use every day and obviously think, you know, this is gonna be the most convenient thing for me all the time. Car's always gonna be more convenient. It can take you a lot more places, hold a lot more things. It has heat, you know. Might not matter if you're like in Florida or something, or in California. You're like, well, I don't care, I get to ride you around. I don't get to do that here. But, you know, obviously a pro of having a bike is, it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. It's a good fucking time. You know, the closest thing I can compare it to is being younger, you know, being a kid and whatever. You know, when you go out and ride bikes with your friends, like bicycles, you know, around town, all your buddies are on their bicycles, you're all cruising around, having a laugh, just messing around, you know, being kids. And that's the closest thing I can compare to this thing. Whenever I'm out on my bike, I kind of feel like a kid again, you know. It's fun. It's fun, you know. And then you ride around with your buddies and you guys get to just be idiots. And throwing that helmet on and everything kind of gives you some confidence, and it's just fun. You get to masquerade behind a little mask, you know. Dude, this guy is so close to me. Jesus, dude, you do not. I guess I am kind of close to this Gladiator, but if you watch my one video, fuck Gladiators. Oh, I hate Gladiators. Ugliest fucking cars. Well, not the ugliest, but they're up there. These things are stupid. They're good at nothing. How can you be okay? Yeah, I guess okay at everything. It's not a Jeep, it's not a truck, it's not an SUV, it's not a car. It's just not good at anything. You know, it's just lame. It's just lame. I won't get into Gladiators. If you know me, you know my standpoint on those. I feel like you always have to look at bikes in the way that it's a fun thing, you know. You're not necessarily, it's a toy. To an extent, you know, you obviously don't want to treat it like a toy because you could die on one of these things super easily. But you get a bike just like you get a razor to have fun, you know. So those discomforts and those creature comforts you get from having a nice car or whatever, obviously you're gonna not think about them as much when you're on a bike because you're like, oh, my back kind of hurts, but I'm out here having fun. It's to be expected that my back is gonna hurt because I'm not in my comfortable Cadillac, you know. It's to be expected expected that I'm not going to be as comfortable because I'm not in as comfortable of a vehicle. So it's a give and a take, but like it's just so fun, and it's good. And you save money on gas too. I mean, I feel this thing uses more gas than my bobber did, but you know, if you're just riding around town, putting around, not doing anything crazy, you put 10 bucks of gas in your bike and it'll last you, you know, a whole week, 2 weeks sometimes if you're not riding that much, you're not riding too hard, which is, you know, pretty fucking nice, especially if you're in a place where you can ride year round. It's just economical, and you can park wherever you want. You know, you get to the store and all these bozos, look at all these cagers, they have to park out in the parking lot, but you get to park right by the door. People won't be happy about it, and you might get a ticket depending on where you're at. But you can do it, and it's nice because you get out of the store and you're like, well, right by the front door, on the bike, and we're gone. But that is another con. You can't carry a bunch of shit. So if you do go to the grocery store, you have to plan on it. Like, all right, I'm just taking my backpack. I guess if you're on a big bagger Harley or something, you have a lot more room. But for me, I got a backpack. That's all I got. So if I'm going to the store, most I'm getting is a gallon of milk, bag of chips, you know, nothing crazy. Unless you got a big mountain bag and you're willing to just fucking thug it out and let it go. Holy shit, that guy was falling over right pushing that thing. But you know, you don't have a lot of room, so it does make running simple errands and shit a lot more fun. You know, you're like, oh, I gotta run to the bank. I don't want to go to the bank. That's kind of annoying. But if you hop on your bike, now it's a little more fun. You know, you're making the trip a little more fun. You're like, well, I'm going to the bank to do something boring, but I'm on my bike, so it's a little more fun, and it kind of motivates you to do shit. The same way for me, it kind of sucks in the winter that I can't ride as much, because riding my bike, honestly, it really does motivate me to go to the gym, because I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go for a little ride around the bike, go putt around town, and, you know, have a good time, and, you know, go to the gym and work out. But in the winter, I'm like, I gotta go to the gym. There's nothing really pushing me to do it, or nothing fun about it, besides once you're there, you know, you're like, well, now I'm working out, I feel good about myself, but the whole way there, you're like, nah, I don't really want to do it. But being on the bike, you're like, well, this is kind of cool, I'm gonna go for a bike ride, little cruise around town or something, and I'm gonna hit the gym. So it's kind of a motivator for me, really. And just another, you don't go far, honestly. Not on this thing, at least. I go on drives all the time for work and whatnot, and I drive for long periods of time, and, you know, lots of road trips and whatnot. I would never do all that driving on this bike, because Jesus, I ride like an hour and a half, 2 hours out to my parents' house or whatever, just to go cruise around, visit, and sometimes it's kind of miserable, you know. I'm like, fuck, this thing is uncomfortable like long periods of time. Obviously, if you're on a sick adventure bike or something, or you're on a big bagger Harley, it's going to be a lot more bearable for you, and that's why people get those things, you know. But for me, if I want to go long distance and I want it to be comfortable and, you know, all that, that's why I personally don't see the appeal of having those giant bagger Harleys, you know, those Road Kings, those Road Glides, and the Electra Glide, and all these bikes. I personally, like, I see the appeal, you know, I get it. People want to be comfortable and travel far while also being out on a bike. I get it, you know, to an extent. Me personally, I would just never do it, because if I want all those comforts, I'm gonna get in my car, you know, and just be comfortable. I'm gonna get on my car and not have to deal with the bullshit of being on a bike, which, you know, to an extent, it's all about the adventure, I guess, when you're on a bike, but I just don't see the appeal. Oh, there it is. I always see that CBR 600 right there, and it's just like mine. You know, it's the Honda version of mine, because his is all panda like mine is, black and white. But yeah, honestly, I just don't see the appeal as big bikes. If I'm on a bike, I want to go have fun. I want to hit the twisties and, you know, cruise around and it be sporty, you know. So those bikes, I just don't see the appeal personally. And that's coming from someone that used to have a cruiser, you know. I came from having a cruiser. It's not anything like those, but mine was all chopped up. So also inconvenient bike, just like this one is. But, you know, it's not that I hate cruisers.
2,000 years later.
Man, I was yapping. Sorry about that. Had to run into the bank. Had to cut myself off before I got ahead of myself, huh? But while I was in there, off of my tangent, another pro that I thought about was these things are cheap. Honestly, they're very cheap fun. They really are. Like, you could get the exact bike that I have right here, No 6 Ninja 636, for like $4 grand, and probably better shape than mine is, you know. Like, it's just cheap, and parts are pretty cheap, like fixing them. And if you're wanting to learn about how to work on shit too, it's the perfect avenue to do that, because it's easy. Honestly, it really is. Like, once you start taking things apart and whatnot, like, these things are so simple, it's insane. Like, you can have the entire thing apart, you know, for the most part, besides like pulling the engine and stuff, in an hour, if that, you know. Have all the fairings off, do your oil change and all this stuff. It's so easy. Like, and if you're trying to learn and do stuff, like, it's just easy, and it's good at, like, it's a good entry point for people to learn how to do shit and work on stuff and take care of your things and like do oil changes on it and whatever. And then the parts to do it are pretty cheap. Like, you don't have to pay nearly as much as you do with a car. Like, even buying a whole new motor for a bike like this, it's a couple $100 for a whole motor, you know. And doing that in a car, you're spending a couple grand. And taking a motor out of a car would be much harder than doing it on a bike. Obviously, it's not going to be the easiest thing. You're not going to buy a bike and be like, oh, I'm going to learn how to work on it by immediately pulling the motor and stripping this thing to a bare frame. But, you know, doing little things like putting new headlights in it, or putting a sprocket on it, changing your brakes, you know, whatever. It's a good way to learn. You know, it's cheap, and it's an easy avenue. It's kind of hard to fuck up on a bike. On a car, I feel like you have a lot more kind of riding on you that you can fuck up and whatnot, so it's a little more daunting. But that is a good pro about a bike, especially my Shadow that I used to have before I got the Ninja. Holy shit, that thing was Legos. Like, if you want a bike to build with a, you know, strong aftermarket and everything, and easy to build and everything and work on, that Shadow, I could have the entire thing apart in like 10 minutes, you know, and be working on whatever part of it that I need for the most part, you know. Obviously, there's some things where it takes a little longer, but it was so simple. And like, especially a bike like that to learn how to ride on, like, easy, you know, like super easy to learn how to ride on, to work on. They're super cheap. Those things are bulletproof, you know. The same with like those Cruiser V-Stars and, you know, Suzuki's and stuff, depending on which ones, and the Yamaha and like everything, you know. They all have their things, but they're just so, it's easy, and that's another pro with it. And there's so much aftermarket too that you could really do it up how you want to do it, you know, and kind of have your bike be yours. Like, it's very easy to build your bike, and whatever kind of bike. It doesn't have to be a sport bike or a cruiser or anything, you know. What the fuck? Oh, weird. But it's just easy, you know. Like my chopper, my old cruiser I had, there was no one around here that had a bike like that, so it's like super unique, and it kind of gives you character, you know. And then with these, you can do whatever color you want with your fairings and whatever. I mean, it's just, it's so easy, you know. I think that's another pro to it. You can kind of do what you want to do. But if you're running around like these kids around here with fucking WRXs and shit, they all look the same. They're all the fucking same. You put a Cobb access port on it, you put some fucking decals on it and whatever, they're all the same. It just looks like fucking regular traffic. It's stupid. So I don't know. I think it's fucking good. What was that?
Nice bike.
Oh, thanks, man. What do you ride?
Kawasaki Ninja, the green one up there.
Oh, there you go, Ninja.
Ooh, nice.
What is yours? Is it like a 600 or?
It's a 500. It's the green one right there.
Oh, cool. It's like brand new, man.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. You just start riding, or?
Yeah, I got it like a month or two ago.
Oh, nice, dude.
I finished the course like November 2nd, and then I got it like the 9th or 10th.
Hell yeah. There you go, dude. That's a great first bike to learn on.
Right.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Nice to meet you, man. Yeah. Well, I might see you around at some point.
See you around?
Hell yeah, dude. Ride safe.
You too.
Keep both the wheels on the ground.
Hell yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's another part to it. Everyone's a big community, you know. Doesn't matter. For the most part, you get the occasional asshole, but everyone's just like, oh, cool bike. And this thing's kind of clapped compared to his fucking bike. It's brand new, but you know, everyone has their community, and it's cool. You see a bike guy and you're both kind of risking the same thing and out doing the same thing, you know. So it's another pro there. Good community. Pizza rolls acquired. Hell yeah. Alrighty. I don't even know where I left off. I don't know what the premise of this video is. I was trying to make a whole thing of the pros and cons of how to, of if you should own a bike or not, and you should get a bike. More of a, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking leave it there. You guys, I'm not gonna make a fucking educated statement or anything. You know, it's gonna be fucking stupid either way. So I'll just fucking leave it there, and we'll call it good, right? Just get a bike. More of the story, just get a bike, man. Go ahead, ladies, right on ahead. But yeah, I mean, you just should. It's great, and it's like a one big happy family. You know, you see bikers out, and you guys just always have something to talk about. Like, hey, cool bike, man. You know, as long as you're not an asshole or a big fat boomer on a Harley, then you're gonna be like, well, it ain't a real bike unless you're on a Harley. Fuck your stupid piss missile. Get a Harley. And then, you know, at that point you're like, all right, this guy's a fucking asshole. You just chalk it up to people being assholes. But there's cool people everywhere. I've met plenty of Harley boomers that are fucking lovely. They're like, hey man, you should come cruise around with us. Cool dude, you know, you're on a bike. We're all out on a bike. There's assholes everywhere. It doesn't matter if you're in the car community or you're an artist or you're rock climbing or you're fucking doing anything. It doesn't matter. You know, literally anything. Any hobby you do, there's always gonna be assholes. Or anything you do in life, you know. It's like I've had a couple run-ins with people that are assholes on bikes and whatever, but I'm not gonna be like, well, every Harley rider is a dick. Every guy on a Honda Rebel is a dick. Every guy on an R1 or whatever it might be, you know, if you run into someone, they're all dicks. No, who gives a fuck? That guy's just an asshole. It doesn't matter what he's on or whatever. You just chalk it up to that dude being an asshole. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Random tangent. You guys know how I do things. You know how I roll. Oh, so yeah, we're just gonna head home. I had to get on the bike, man. Fucking weather is too good today to not be out on the bike. I can't miss this opportunity. My days are numbered. Winter is coming, and one good snowfall and the cold will stay, and then we're gonna have to put it away. But every single little day that I get where I can get out on the bike, I'm gonna get out on it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna complain about the cold, bitch about it, and yell into the mic and everything, and probably annoy the shit out of you guys if you get this far in the video. But what are you gonna do, huh? I wanna be out on the bike. And this is what it does to you, man. It makes you wanna ride even when the day's like, no, don't go ride today. Take the car, it's cold, don't go ride today. It's still, you come ride anyway, because you wanna be out on the bike. So, just get a bike, guys. Seriously, if you've ever considered it, or you have the funds for it, or anything, or to save, get a fucking bike, and it's fun, man. Cruising around with your friends and everything, God, it is a great time. It is fucking lovely. So I don't know what the premise of this whole thing was. I don't ever have a premise for my videos. I just do. Oh, look at that. He's got lights all over his car. Or them. I don't know what they are. That's fucking cool. Everyone's getting festive. It's almost Christmas. What do you guys think about Christmas? I'm not a fan personally. I'm not a big holiday guy, honestly, with anything. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm not a big celebration guy. I had to turn the fucking camera back on. It's chaos here. Someone fucking crashed. Oh, that sucks, man. Oh, what a bummer. That just happened too. Jesus, what the fuck even happened? God damn. Yeah, those pieces of car all in the road. I was gonna end the video there, but Jesus. Alright, well, I'll chop the clips up and put it back. Alright. now goodbye for real. Hope you guys stay safe. Don't do what these people did. Should I yell at them? You can't fucking park there. I'm not that big of an asshole. Alright, see you guys.